we go. We are live.
And we're probably live right now.
Yes.
Because every time I watch it, though, you're talking to the thing, waiting for viewers, and they're already there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm like, people see this.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So they're watching this.
See, like
yeah, then you just wait for a couple people to kick in.
wait, that's it.
It's a question?
Yeah.
Do you want to tag me?
Oh. I'll tag you, yes.
Should I click yes?
Yeah, hit yes.
It knew me.
Oh, face
I'm
recognition.
so famous.
Alright, now we have one.
Oh no, it's probably, do you want to tag?
Just leave
Oh wait, it tagged.
Just leave
We're good.
Alright, here we go. Ready?
Ready.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Coffee with the Trainer. I'm Mike, and I am your host, and I am the owner of Formal Fitness Training. This is Coffee with the Trainer 10.0, and we're going to be covering all things women's health and fitness. I am joined by none other than Ashlee Whitmoyer,
Ash Assault,
and Be Dani Fit, Danielle Keperling. We all work together at Wyomissing Fitness and Training. We both specialize in a lot of different things. Today we're going to be covering primarily things about women's health and fitness. If you have any additional questions, please post them on the screen. And remember, share this with your friends, tell them about it, and if you enjoy it and you see value in it, come back next time. So today, we're going to start right in with the questions, and we're going to say, what are some great ways to build shapely legs and nice glutes?
All right.
Would you like to start?
Sure. So I like targeting the glutes a lot. And to get the deeper into the glute muscle, like the medius and minimus, we'll do lateral movements like abduction. You can do clamshells, donkey kicks, fire hydrants. And then when I really want to move some weight, then I'll do squats, lunges, and weighted hip thrusters are a great one.
All right. Yeah, very good.
I like to focus also, all those exercises are great, and I incorporate them as well. But step-ups. Step-ups is one of those, if you really engage your glutes and focus on the up, not the forward. Most people, as they do their step up, they'll take a big step and they're moving their weight kind of forward, and you really start to feel it in your quads and glutes when you actually lift your chest and go up towards the ceiling. And then you can really add weight on and focus on each side independently.
So there's been a lot of things going around recently with Insta stories and things like that. A lot of these Instagram models and Instagram trainers, they have these bands that they're putting around their legs, and they're doing like kickbacks and things like that with them. Do you see a reason to be doing those during your workout? Should you do them at the end of your workout? What do you think about those type of things for overall, leg and glute development?
No, I liked incorporating them for sure. I like to kind of make it into my workout. So as I'm pushing heavy weight, I may use it as a superset, or I may use it as a burnout for my legs after after I'm moving heavy weight. The other thing for glutes is even hinges. So good mornings is another one where you can add that weight in. So whatever you choose, it's, I think, the best way to develop your glutes is you need to put the stress on the glutes, and that's going to happen as you're pushing weight. And then exhausting the muscles with lighter weight, body weight exercises, the bands, and then upping your reps.
Yeah, so changing the reps and things like that as well is important to get the density within the muscles.
And another one to add to the hinge, like a single leg deadlift. Yeah. And then you're working unilaterally, getting that specific side to fire. That's always good. Yeah,
I've been seeing a lot of those lately. That's something that I haven't really, done much of. I've done the single leg stiff-legged deadlifts with my leg behind me, but I haven't actually done the where you're just kind of staggered stance. Mm-hmm. And I've been seeing you guys do that a little bit lately, and I think that's a cool move that I have to incorporate myself.
Can you read that?
Uh-oh.
That's just somebody that
no,
tuned in.
They're coming on. They're not asking questions.
Sorry.
Hello.
Yeah, it is Coffee with the Trainer, so we have giant coffees here.
I have two. I don't have a problem, but I have two.
And I just have a little baby one.
We may or may not be addicted to caffeine. Anyway, so our second question, I'll give this one right to Ashlee, and you can say what you think first, then Danielle can chime in. But do women need to work out differently than men?
So it's just a straight up no. You just work out towards your goals, not depending on gender. So No.
Yeah, we're made up differently. We can't really change that. So you're not going to just look big. Even people have said, "Oh, I don't want his arms as big as me." I don't take that. That's fine. Like, I don't mind. But it's taken me since 2007 to get these arms.
Yeah.
But I've trained differently too. So it's in different supplements. We'll get into that. But women will only get so big without taking any supplements. So do they have to train differently? Absolutely not. Train towards your goal. Exactly what Ashlee said.
Yeah, and you, as the consumer, as a woman watching this, you have to remember that, like, if you think Danielle's arms are a little bit bigger than you want yours to be, like, she's a highly conditioned athlete, and so is Ashlee. I mean, they train hard. It's completely different than going in and like, throwing the weights around and doing some basic cardio. They train really hard. So to get to that level, you're going to be talking years. Lots of supplements, lots of protein, lots of food to even get close to that. Yeah.
And if you just wanted to get stronger, overall goal, like I compete, so I have to, my goals and standards are different than someone who's coming in and they just want to be fit, and that just might be reducing their body fat, that might be getting more muscle mass, but not necessarily like I want shoulders this wide, I want arms this big, I want my back this wide, and so when I'm getting into competition, I'm actually kind of looking at those pieces and have to say, okay, well, my legs really should be this size, my arms should be this size, and so that's why I tailor my workouts to try to meet those measurements.
Yeah, and on the ride over, Ashlee was telling me that you actually had somebody tell you that you were too big, and
so it's the perception of everyone else. It's not.
Yeah, it's.
And just remember the old saying, what other people think of you is none of your business.
I like it.
It really isn't.
Tell it how it is.
Just, tell it how it is.
Like it is.
Tell it like it is.
Tell it like it is.
There was another question we were going to cover later, which was, will lifting weights cause a woman to bulk up or look like a man? I mean, I think we kind of just covered that there. But why, what is the chemical response difference between a man and a woman that people think that that's possible? I mean, you talk about more testosterone in men.
We don't have enough testosterone to...
Yeah, so it's really difficult to bulk up like that.
Yeah, your body won't grow. Now, here's what can happen too, and I have a lot of past clients or women that they're like, well, my goal is to, I want more muscle tone, and if they're starting out on the heavier side, when they get more muscle tone, they may appear thicker, and then they're like, well, now things are fitting tight, but I want muscle tone, and now what do I do? And that piece is now we want to work on body fat reduction, and that's a big piece to it. So let's just say I'm 200 pounds and I gain muscle. Maybe my weight stays about the same. Maybe it goes up a little bit. If I didn't reduce any body fat, I'm still gonna stay thick and have that look. So there's a misconception too of like, well, if I gain muscle, then I'm just going to be bigger. Now I look bigger. Or if maybe they've been at it for 6 months and they notice that they're tight, like they're tighter or they're stronger, and they do have some muscle tone, but they still feel thick, and that's reducing the body fat. So once the body fat comes off, that's where you look smaller, and you will be smaller.
Yeah, and painting a picture of that, so like muscle tissue and fat tissue are two totally different types of tissue. So if you take a muscle tissue and a fat tissue, put them together, obviously it's twice the size, and then you minimize that fat tissue, and then all that's left is the muscle tissue. That's the point in time where you're going to be thinner.
Right.
But you can actually be a little thicker to begin with until you lower that overall body fat percentage. That leads into another point where I continually still hear, which is muscle weighs more than fat. And no, that's not true. Right. Muscle takes up less space, but 1,000 pounds of muscle is the same as 1,000 pounds of fat, just takes up a lot less space.
Yes.
So, myth debunked. Tell it like it is.
Though I will say, when I bulk up to cut down, it's better. Like I'll gain fat as I'm lifting, and I feel I'm thicker, because then when I go to strip it off, I know that while I was gaining weight, I had enough calories to gain muscle as I was lifting, and then when I was able to strip the fat off, I look much smaller than I did to start. And again, it's just that it's the body fat that increases if you're not watching. So if you're looking to gain muscle and you just eat, your muscle and body fat could be going up.
Yeah.
So a lot of people say, oh, it's from lifting, now I'm bigger. And it's like, well, if you can gain muscle, but you have to watch how much body fat is going on.
Right, yeah, you still need to watch what you're eating.
Yeah.
Well, what's a good starting point if somebody comes to you, Ashlee, and they say, "Hey, I want to gain a little bit of muscle," and they say, like, "What should my caloric intake be?" Do you have a set point or a starting point that you normally get people at?
Well, it would depend on like their weight and what they want to gain. But I do aim usually for like the 40-40-20 rule for protein, carbs, and fat.
Yeah, I think that's a great starting point.
I think that's what you use for your challenge as well.
Yeah, the challenge, it's a good way to kind of gauge how you feel with carbs. You're not getting too much, you're not getting too little.
Yeah.
And then you can make tweaks along the way, but it's a good starting point. And then using it, the caloric intake off of I find out what their BMR is first. And then kind of adjust up or down from there.
And BMR is your basal metabolic rate, which is how much you burn if you did nothing but sit around all day. So that's what she was determining off of that. But yeah, you just said about Danielle's challenge. Danielle's 4-week challenge is coming up. If you're interested in something like that, let her know. These two are still doing boot camps at Wyomissing Fitness. And I'm also doing a boomer squat on Wednesday nights, and that's going to be for people between the ages of 50 and 75. So that's
awesome.
some of the stuff we have going on right now.
I absolutely love that you're doing it. But yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about the challenge towards the end when we kind of are closing out. But
definitely. But just letting you guys know what we're doing, and you know, and we're all available for personal training as well. Shameless plug. Anyway, third question: how can women manage working out and bloating that they can accumulate during their periods or during that time of the month?
I mean, I say still go and get your workout in. When you release those endorphins, you're actually going to feel better and less stressed.
Yeah.
I always push through it. No matter what.
You just push.
Just push through it. That's what I say. I feel better afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens. And obviously make sure fluids and get your water in and to help counteract bloat. That time of month, we tend to crave certain foods that could obviously make you bloat. So just being aware that
gotta be mentally tough.
Like salt, sugar, sweets, stuff like that.
Stay away from them. Don't give them to temptation.
Yeah, none.
Away from it all.
You are not allowed. Take a bite of the cookie and throw it out.
No, but I feel better too when I and then work out.
I mean, it's tough getting there at first, but once you do it.
And I know the three of us have talked about like dandelion root extract, and is that something that during the time of the month is going to have any impact whatsoever, or you should just save that for when you're trying to?
I don't know. I've never used it during during that time of month that I needed it.
I haven't used it.
I never tried it. I never. I don't know. Feel like I'm super bloated anyway.
Regardless.
I just feel like working out and creating that routine just kind of helps everything.
Okay.
Just not feel so. I don't feel like I fluctuate a lot during those times. Like it's a big increase, and that's hormonal too. That's just my body. But yeah, I know there's a lot of women that struggle with it too. So.
Yeah, I mean, because I really want to touch on this because a lot of times my clients will come up to me and they'll be like, I gained like 6 pounds during my period, and I'm like, well, that's natural. Don't worry about it. You're holding water, this, that, the other thing. But I really have a hard time giving them any peace of mind because I'm like, well, just keep with your routine, drink enough water, bring it, do what you can, and then, 5-6 days later, you should be good. Once you're through it. Yeah. Do you guys have anything else that you offer to women that come to you with the same type of problems? I mean, other than just sticking to your routine and hydrating, is there anything else?
Suck it up, buttercup.
Just deal with it.
Pretty much. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, if it's bad enough, I'm sure you should go to your doctor if you're having
if you're in that much pain
or a lot of bloat or just unnecessary bloat that lasts.
Yeah, is it going away after the week?
Your clients... Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it's just you kind of have to ride it out, and again, choosing things that foods that will counteract bloating, and just kind of sticking with your daily routine.
And do you guys think it's safe to skip your period if you're on birth control, like to look a certain way for vacation? Because I know that's something a lot of celebrities do. They literally will get rid of their bye week so they can skip a period to look a certain way. Do you think that's safe and effective, or do you think that's extremely bad for the body?
No, I mean there's products out there. There's birth control that you don't get it for 6 months, or you don't get it for however many times. And I personally have never taken anything like that, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But skipping, obviously anything that you do, if you're taking anything medical wise, just check with your doctor and make sure that you know it's okay and safe. That you skip it. And I know people have tried to time it around vacations. Or they're trying to do something and they kind of manipulate when they're going to get it, and that's, always check with your doctor. But I know, like, if your body fat gets too low, then you can skip your period and you don't get it at all. And it's happened to me as I compete, and when I get closer to that time, it'll go away for a period of time and it comes back. And so long term effects, if you're training and you're a woman, you're an athlete and you've lost it, I would say like longer than 6 months. I mean, then you're looking into some deficiencies.
Okay.
And should definitely go talk to your doctor about supplements and things like that, and trying to get you on track to get your period back. But and you do feel like I lost it I think for the longest it was 6 months, and it's one of my first shows when I got my body fat down. It was like around 9% and or 8%, and I could tell like in my fingernails, I could tell in my hair, like it wasn't super healthy. So I'm able to maintain a body fat where I get my period every month and I feel like I'm a healthy weight, and it not being too open, so we're already on camera about this. So, but yeah, I mean, the last time I competed, I only skipped 1 month, so it's like my body was already kind of conditioned and used to it, so I didn't lose it for a long period of time like I usually do.
Yeah,
it only went away. I kind of like got off track for about a month and it came right back. Okay. So trying to eat as many things as I can to try to keep myself balanced, and try not to cut out too many things before you compete, or if you have a vacation, or if you have something. But yeah, nutrients is a huge thing that you're lacking usually when you start missing your periods, and checking out what your diet looks like and things like that. You're probably missing a lot in your diet.
All right. Which leads into our next question. What supplements are good for women for their health and their fitness performance?
I personally don't use any supplements. I was just telling you earlier, except for protein, like if I can't get it right after a workout. I'm not against them, but I just think you should have a foundation, like, of a healthy diet laid first, and then add supplements in. As supplements, not replacements.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the word supplement.
Right.
Not a crutch, not your daily intake, but a supplement.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't eat certain things in your diet, and the biggest thing for women I see is iron, vitamin C, vitamin D,
biotin, and it seems like a big thing.
Yeah.
Biotin, hair, skin, and nails products.
Yeah.
Oh, I do take multivitamins, and biotin's in there. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So she does take a multivitamin.
There we go.
Multivitamin.
Got one.
I take a multivitamin. Folic acid is another big one. But I will cycle my supplements depending on what I'm doing. So if I'm training for a show or I'm training for something, I will add creatine as my supplement, and arginine, and I added something else. I guess it wasn't that important. But yeah, based on how I feel, and like I said, I felt really good going into this last one. So it's always, you're trying to fine tune things. Your body gets older, does different things, and so just to try to work with your body. You never want to work against your body. So if it's really not, your body's not gonna go this way, don't try to direct it 180 the other direction. You gotta work with what God gave you. You have to work with it. You have to work with what God gave you. So just knowing your body is key. And then if you feel like you're tired, or you feel like you might be missing something crucial in your diet, so supplements. Not to say that. So what's your main reason why you decide that you don't want to take supplements?
I mean, I just never have. I don't know. I really don't have a reason.
Yeah.
I feel like my diet's already, like, pretty spot on.
Yeah. And, you know, Ashlee and I have conversations, Mike, we have conversations about what our diet looks like, and a snack might be something that we're like, people are like, that's a snack? We kind of eat to fuel the body, you know.
Yep.
We don't eat we eat for pleasure too, like if we're going out, but it's more or less like I might have chicken with a sweet potato at like 10 o'clock or broccoli or something because like I know that I need a good carb. There's my protein, and I just need some, you know, something. Or I might have something funky, like at a weird time that just doesn't seem like a snack, a true snack.
Right. It's almost another meal.
Right. So it's, changing the way you eat reduces the supplements that you need to take.
Yeah, and little does Ashlee know that I'm going to do a little lab experiment with her. We're going to do a workout, and she's going to do just a quarter scoop of pre-workout, and we're just going to watch her run around a gym. We're going to film that for you, too.
Oh, God. I've never taken even, like, a sip of pre-workout. Oh, boy.
I have. And like I said, I have, and I'll do it if I feel like I need it. Sometimes we'll teach a lot of classes in one day, and I'm trying to train for myself, and it's... But again, usually that's when I'm training for something and then I do cycle off of it. So it's good. So if you've been on the same pre-workout for years or if you've been on a certain supplement, just kind of take a look at it and wean yourself off and see how you feel once you're off that supplement. And, you know, kind of gauge from there. Do I really need it? Is it time for a change? I saw something. What is that?
Is it a question?
It might just be like hand clapping or something.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, if you need 600 milligrams of caffeine to get yourself in the gym, chances are your adrenals are shot. So it's time to dial back for a while to make caffeine actually work for you again. Because caffeine and coffee, black coffee, is very good for fat burning. But if your adrenals are shot, it's not actually going to have that effect.
Yeah, I've cut down to half calf. So like I enjoy drinking coffee. I like it. I don't. So I've cut that down to, you know, cut the caffeine out, so I'm able to just kind of drink the same amount, but just...
I was going to say, do you do 4 cups then?
No, I will drink...
It's like double up!
I typically drink 4, now I'm at 8. It's half the caffeine. No, so I drink less of it, and so...
Yeah, and you still get the antioxidants with the decaf as you would in the regular. You're just not getting as much caffeine.
Yeah.
You know, and you can, you know, do a quick Google search on benefits of coffee.
Yeah, there's a ton of benefits for coffee. Absolutely.
So drink up.
Drink up.
Yeah, and you may have a problem when this is the size you're typically drinking.
How many of those a day, though?
Well, I had like 16 ounces for breakfast, then I'll finish this, and then I'll be done for the day. That's like, I don't know, 40, 50 ounces a day. But I'm also a big guy. I'm not like a small, like, dude that, you know, would probably kill me. It gets me going. Whatever.
Whatever gets you going, Mike.
That's right. Whatever gets you going. All right. So this is one we kind of just came up with on the fly right before we were starting, and Danielle thought it was important that we would cover a good way to get your family and get your kids specifically to eat better and to exercise. We deal with all kinds of different people. People that have kids, people that have older parents, this, that, the other thing. But like getting your family to move and getting your kids to eat right, I think are 2 of the biggest things. And I think we should just dive down a rabbit hole here and like get into this. Because like what are some tools that people could just say today, hey, let's help my kids become healthier adults, or even say help my parents do something they've never done before, like start eating healthy, because a lot of our parents don't eat healthy. They grew up eating terribly. You and I talked about on the way over. We grew up eating very bad compared to what we do now.
Yeah.
And how do you overcome those barriers of just not knowing what to eat or just not wanting to? I mean, you can start with the kids and then you can go into the adults. Okay. Sound good?
Yeah. Well, I'll just say, as an adult, you have to be a role model for your kids. And your activity level, like, you used to be an athlete, or maybe you used to work out, but if you're doing nothing and you're pushing your kids to go outside and play and they see you sitting around, you have to be a role model for your kids, and that's kind of hard to hear. You like junk food, and the biggest thing is, you know, people say, no, my kids, listen, they eat junk. But they do eat, I will say they eat very well. And it comes down to the parents, and my kids are young. They get somewhat of a say of what they want to eat, but ultimately it's my decision. And they don't know what McDonald's is. They don't know because I never took them.
That's beautiful.
They don't know what it is. They don't know what they're missing. And it's a struggle for me because I have parents that just say they won't eat anything else but chicken nuggets, hot dogs, and macaroni and cheese. You are the role model for your kids. They look up to you. It's going to be really hard, but you have to change. You have to tell them, no, that's not what we're eating. This is our new diet. They only know it because of you. I'm so sorry, but it's true, and it's we just want to please our kids, and it's a yes world that we're living in today. Instant, and it's hard. I'm tough on my kids, but they are so lovable, and so I give in too. I mean, we're guilty of it, but it's like, no, you need to. I'm not making a separate meal for you. We're eating avocado with ground turkey, and let them make some choices, which helps. But ultimately, it comes down to the parents making that decision of we need to make changes, and we're going to make it together as a family, and having the kids on board with it. It might take a little bit, but you ultimately need to be the role model and kind of set the stage of how we're gonna eat. And maybe you don't go to these places anymore. You stop the temptations. It's gonna be hard, and it might suck for a little bit. But stick to your guns, and yeah.
Well, what if the in-laws borrow the kids for a weekend and they come back and all they were eating was processed stuff for the entire weekend, and like your parents aren't on board with you? You have any tips of trying to bridge that barrier?
Yeah, and I would say I'm okay with like grandparents spoiling, my kids, and that it's their time with them and they get to do special things. But they should associate like eating out or kind of junk food as a special once in a while thing. So if it's, and that's tough to say, okay, Mom, you can't be doing this, or telling, your parents, listen, we need to have rules, but you need to say, we're really watching what we're eating, and I hope that you're on board with it, because we're going to be enforcing it. And you can allow them to have a treat or a snack, but this is what I really want you to give them first. You can reward them with a treat, or but yeah, I mean, you need to be open. So if you're making changes, you have to let your family members know that you're making changes. And hopefully they'll be on board with it, because the kids will start saying, like they'll ask me, is this a healthy snack? Because I said, if you're after dinner, like healthy snack, find something healthy. Is this healthy? And I hear them saying it to other people. Oh, well, we're gonna pick a healthy snack. So they might say it then to the grandparents. Oh, is this a healthy snack? And then the grandparents, they're not gonna want to lie. They're gonna say, no. But yeah, so getting everybody on board.
Definitely, yeah. I think that's a good start with the kids, anyway. So the adults.
Like our age, or are you talking?
Okay, so say 40 to 60-year-olds that are wanting to make some healthy changes in their life. What are the early on steps that they should try and do?
So what I've seen with my parents and grandparents, they love salt. So I would suggest less seasoning, and just portion control, because a lot of people, they just pile on and they keep going for seconds. So just portion control. Greens at every meal I try to incorporate. Most people just want potatoes and meat. I'm like, is there anything, any vegetable? Just starting out simple. Not really.
Yeah, not in Berks County. Nobody eats potatoes.
Not at all.
We're actually in Alberta today. We're at the beautiful Celia Studios, so that's where we are today. So we're not in our typical Berks County area. Just a side note on that, if you know anybody who has a band or wants to do podcasts or anything like that, Celia Studios is the place to go. Pierce was gracious enough to have us in here today, have us all set up with this, and we'll be putting this stuff out over the next couple weeks. We have some actual video cameras going and things like that, something different than usual. But that was the ADHD kicking in.
Very legit setup.
It's a very legit setup.
If you could only see.
But yeah, I wanted to say that because I forgot to say at the beginning. Yeah, we're at Celia Studios, and this place is awesome. And Pierce does a great job. And there's lots of stuff on iTunes that they've recorded and things like that, so you guys can check that out. The band Atlantic Avenue, and Stephanie Grace has been in here with us and done some things. And there's a lot of things going on here. But I just wanted to say that as a side note. But going back to the kids and the adults, when you're talking about your cheat meals and your treats and going out and associating that as a treat or a reward, and Danielle said about, the parents setting the example. Well, Danielle does a lot of runs and things like that, and I know you do too, where it's like if you run a 5K and then you get a beer afterwards, or you get a snack or something with your friends afterwards. So they see you physically going out and earning your treat.
Yeah.
So that's a good way, I think, to get people exercising, adults.
Yeah.
Because a 5K most people can get through.
Yeah.
Even if they just walk it.
You walk
For
it,
sure.
yeah.
You
And
know?
I just discovered that Marley is like a really good runner, and she just goes. And so who knows? Like, this might be her thing, getting into track, but she just, and my youngest, she's 4, and they're getting into it. And, Noah, he's great, and he likes that participation with his friends. He's like, yeah, is my buddy going? And they'll just run together. And that's what it's all about, is getting people together, having fun, exercising,
Getting off phones,
making it like a way of life, just to connect again to people. We don't connect enough to people.
Camaraderie.
And I joined a kickball league, and I got leveled, but I'm okay.
Just a little bit of
We're lucky
whiplash.
Danielle's here today, actually.
a bit of whiplash. I was flying in the air, but it's okay. But yeah, and honestly, my kids were the ones who were like, "Mom, you joining kickball again this year?" It's like, yeah, I guess so. You're coming to, and they come and they cheer me on and they go play. They're like, that's their time to play with their friends too. But again, that comes back to being that role model for your kids. It's super important. And I would say little plug in. I just saw Kirk Cameron last night, and it just he's amazing, and I realize how amazing he is. But it came back to you set the example. Ultimately, you need to be the role model for your kids in every aspect. And if they have a bad attitude, it's maybe you have a bad attitude. They usually pull out the pieces in you, not necessarily the good. So they're always watching. They're like little magnets. They're always watching. And even if now they're not young, maybe they're in middle school and high school, and now you're like, well, I let them eat whatever they want. Now what? What if I don't have little kids? You still are their parent. You still need to be the role model, and you can say, listen, I messed up. We're going to make some changes together. So you're never too old to make changes in your life and to go on a healthy track.
Yeah, we're all constant works in progress and evolutions. And if you saw my post yesterday, it was a picture of me and 2 of my clients. And I was saying how, you need camaraderie in your life. And if you're an older person and your spouse doesn't support you or your friends don't support you, that's okay. Find somebody else who does. Somebody else who's going to drive you to do better. I mean, I'm blessed that I was overweight twice in my life and I lost it all and built a lot of muscle along the way. But I'm surrounded by people like this every single day. So if I'm not motivated to do something, I have a problem. So set yourself up for success too. Yeah. Go to a place like Wyomissing Fitness where they're going to know your name when you walk in the door. Develop some relationships. It doesn't have to be your family. Yeah. It doesn't always have to be.
Right.
But be the example you want to see. That's another thing I always
absolutely.
like to say.
Yeah. Well said.
Thank you. So one more question. Post them on the screen. If this is the first time you're joining in, just post them on the screen and we'll get to them once we finish some of the ones that we've already went through. Basically, these questions are coming from questions my clients ask me all the time, and a couple of them were asking me on Facebook Messenger. But question number 8 is, can women work out during pregnancy, and how do they need to adjust their workout as they navigate that cycle of 9 months or 8.5 months or whatever it would be?
Yeah.
Around
you should
that.
take that one. You did work out during your pregnancy. You can.
I've been talking a lot. You
You got it, Ashlee.
Oh goodness.
What's your recommendation from a trainer? Then I'll tell you from a pregnancy standpoint. How about that?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean, as long as you've been working out previously, I recommend still coming and working out. if you're new to working out, don't just start while you're pregnant. But yeah, light resistance training or what you're used to and comfortable with, not new exercises. Yoga, you can do that. And once you get, third trimester is when I start to get iffy. Like, I've had clients that were in there, and I just kind of like having doctor recommendations too. Just
Number one, find out from your doctor.
Yeah, you never know if there's complications or
get your clearance. But yeah, if you're newer to exercise, now I have come across some cases that they never exercise and they started while they were pregnant. So they were, I guess, they weren't just on their own. So they either went to a trainer or their doctor recommended something. Like, and it is very, very light, but it just gets their self moving. But like Ashlee said, if you've been exercising, continue exercising. Now it was like my time to not go up in weight. So I knew where my weights were. I knew where my limitations were. I continued at those weights, and then eventually I did start dropping as my belly got bigger, and just, now a lot of hormones are going on, so the elasticity is you could be super stretchy because your body is preparing. So noticing that you have to be super careful on wider stance squats or certain things because you could pull something. Because you're more vulnerable to an injury because of the elasticity that's going on there. But yeah, yoga and getting into some poses. The biggest thing is staying off your back. So changing anything you're lying flat into like an incline.
Yeah, it's after the first trimester, they're not allowed to be on their back, or they shouldn't be on their back, and they shouldn't be putting any pressure on the stomach.
Right, so obviously not laying on your stomach, not laying flat on your back, but propping yourself up using like an incline bench or stability balls that are secure, supported. You're not going to fall off of it. But yeah, I worked out up until I taught classes up until like 2 weeks before I delivered. So I feel like it helped me in my delivery. I feel like I bounced back quicker with working out up until I had the babies. So yeah, I mean, you can continue doing as long as, obviously there's no complications.
Yeah, and have some communication. So if you are working with a personal trainer, this goes for if you're pregnant, if you have an injury, if you have a health condition. A good trainer is going to be doing research on you and on your specific stuff if they don't already know what's going on, right? But it also doesn't hurt to have your trainer have a conversation with your doctor or your physical therapist or your occupational therapist, because the good trainers and the great trainers, and what's going to separate them from other people, is they're going to go above and beyond to make sure you're safe. They're not going to be out there trying to hurt you. So if your trainer has no experience with working with pregnant women, maybe you need to work with somebody else temporarily, or at least make sure they're talking to your doctor and making sure you're safe. Or, in our case, if I've worked with a lot of pregnant women, but if I was unsure what was going on, I could go to Danielle and be like, hey, is this program effective at month 7 of the pregnancy? So just make sure you're asking questions, you're making sure you're working with somebody that's highly educated, but willing to educate further, specific to your unique situation.
Yeah.
And I stress that in just about every show. Just make sure you're working with somebody who's has your best interest in heart, and go from there.
Yeah.
So we covered a lot of ground with the questions today. I think we gave a good snapshot of women's fitness and what it's like, being in the workout realm and staying healthy as a woman.
Yeah. Whether
you're pregnant during that time of the month, all those good things. We covered some of that. Now I'm just going to give these two a chance to just give a snapshot of themselves. So we're going to go with Ashlee first, and we're going to basically just say, what does a typical workout and diet look like for you, and what is your advice to women who are watching, and then also let them know where they can find you, any specialties you want them to know about. And we're going to be posting this stuff over the next 9 weeks, so you're going to see Ashlee a lot on my page, Danielle's page, her page. Also put some of the stuff on Wyomissing Fitness and Training. In my closing thought, we do this, and I said this before, but we do this because we support each other. Good trainers are not out there cutting each other's throats. They're out there helping each other and learning from each other. That's why we do this. Yeah. So if you have any trainers that you think would be great for the show, just let me know, and I'll try and get them on. But just remember that the reason we do this is to help you. Nobody's getting paid for this. We're just here trying to give you value.
We love you so much.
We love you so much. So, Ashlee?
All right. So typical workouts. Well, I do strength training 3 to 4 times a week, hit about twice, and teach. What am I up to now for classes?
I don't know. Mondays and Tuesdays.
I teach at least one a day. So at least 7 classes I teach a week. Some I participate in, some I just have to watch. A lot of it is boxing and kickboxing. Diet. So, all right. My favorite one that everyone should try, this is my crave, is in the morning, do oatmeal, quick oats, in a mug. You're going to try this?
All right.
All right.
I'm down.
All right. So, like, half a cup, pour that in. Then you do a scoop of vanilla protein powder. Then about 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar and coffee.
How much coffee?
Like, you pour you fill the mug.
Oh, then you
hot coffee.
You top it to get it all saturated.
Yes.
Okay.
Stir it and enjoy. So that's my wake up coffee at 3:30 a.m.
Apple cider vinegar.
Yeah.
Do you taste it?
No, the coffee and the vanilla protein powder are like mask it.
Okay, because I want to do apple cider vinegar. Meredith's been doing it for years. Sorry, this is just a side note. But I can't stand the taste.
Well,
so I have to try this.
Don't drink it alone.
I always drink it alone.
Don't drink it alone.
Anyway.
Then usually eggs with vegetables. I try to incorporate greens at every meal. Hummus, wheat wraps, salads, chicken, sweet potatoes are another favorite. Sweet potato fries.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Every time I go to a restaurant, look on the menu right there. Yes.
Yeah.
What else? I'm trying to think. Snacks, rice cakes are good. That's about all I got. Avocados, guacamole. Yeah, it's pretty much my diet. And then what other question do we have? What do you
do for your HIIT workouts? You said HIIT. What if a viewer doesn't know what HIIT means and how do you do
intensity. HIIT? I kind of gear it off. Like, I don't do CrossFit, but I'll gear it off that. Like AMRAPs, which means as many rounds as possible in a certain amount of time.
Okay.
I'll do those. I do Monday night HIIT class that we offer at Wyomissing by John. Yeah, so it's usually interval training. You stay on an exercise like 20 to 30 seconds, 10-second rest, reset, go again.
It's all out.
All out.
All out. Yep.
All out. Get
your heart rate up.
Get the heart rate up.
All right, and Mrs. Jones is listening and she wants some inspiration. Inspire Mrs. Jones.
Well, what I can say is that I suggest all women, or most women, if you want to go to the gym, should, and don't be like afraid to just walk in and see all these meatheads. Once you get there, if you're not, yeah, that's him. No. So if you are scared, I would suggest hiring a personal trainer maybe to start, or take classes, go with friends, family, because once you do get through a workout, your confidence grows. It carries over from the gym to outdoor settings. I experienced it myself because that's how I had started and got into fitness. I had a really crappy diet, poor lifestyle, realized I was super unhealthy, went to the gym, intimidated, went with friends, started seeing my confidence grow, and then I just fell in love with it, and that's how I became a personal trainer. So I suggest going there. It becomes an addiction.
Yeah.
And how long have you been training, and where can people find you?
So I'm at 5 years now, and you can find me at Wyomissing Fitness in person, or you can go on Facebook and Instagram, Ashlee.
Exeter Fitness too.
Exeter Fitness Mondays.
Mondays
You can find me there. And tonight for a sweat and swig with wine slushies.
Yum. That'll be fun.
And there's gonna be
there's our treat. We work out.
There's your treat.
They're gonna work out really hard with Stefano and Ash. So then you get treated to some wine slushies.
Exactly.
And Ash and I are actually working on a top secret plan for sometime this summer. So look out for the formal assault workout. We're gonna be doing a boot camp somewhere. We don't know where yet, but it's going to happen. And it's going to be
formal assault
awesome.
Is a good thing.
Formal assault in a good way. And now we will shoot it right over to Danielle. And where can people find you? What's your typical workout diet? And what's your advice for Mrs. Jones watching?
Mrs. Jones. God love her. I'm all over the place. So usually I have kids with me. Sometimes not. They're not here today.
Actually, they are. They're
behind
her. Just kidding.
Yeah, so, but I love them dearly, and they see it. So again, I try to be a role model. I try to live out the words that I speak, and they, bring them with me to places, and they get to see. So I'm the fitness director for group exercise classes for Wyomissing and Exeter. So I'm between both gyms. I coordinate some of all of our sweat and swigs. And I teach classes most days of the week, or training. I'm there, and so I do have challenges. So usually my Fight to Be Fit challenges, this is year 3 or 4. They've been going really well, and I really wanted to do a quick fix diet. I'm not all about quick fix diets. However, when I compete, there's a certain diet that you have to follow, and it's a short period of time. So usually my challenges focus on long run. How are you going to eat in the long run? I teach you how to eat for your lifestyle. And if you're active, you need to be eating to meet that lifestyle. So this is it's the first time I'm doing it. It's 4 weeks, and it's like little tricks that you can do. Let's say you have a wedding coming up. Let's say in 30 days you're going to the beach. Let's just say, so this diet is really made to do in 4 weeks. And I teach you all the tricks that I've learned along the ways to cut down, how I cut down for my show, and so it's not a maintained diet. So if you've done my challenges before and you kind of learned to eat, you're going to learn all new secrets, get different recipes, get different workouts all laid out for you for the next 4 weeks. So I'm really excited about that. Something new that I'm trying, because I've had kind of requests for it. So yeah, take you in a sneak peek of training mode, and it's a great way. Even if you're super fit, it's a great way to just kind of see where you can take your body to for 30 days. If you're newer to it, you can still do it, because it's a great start to jumpstart a diet. So I do this for the first 30 days, and then I kind of go into a diet or plan that I've laid out, 40-40-20, mm-hmm. or learn how to carb cycle if you like that. So you could use it at either end, no matter where you are. That starts May 4th, so you can message me Facebook, or stop in at the gym and sign up for that.
Don't do Instagram.
She doesn't check
one
it.
picture.
Check
one picture.
Instagram. I'm really trying to check it once a day. I'm really trying. But yeah, my workout is, right now, it's tailored to my clients and whatever they're doing. So teaching, and I really try to jump in for myself. But the seasons of life. So right now, my season is doing the classes that I teach, and little workouts here and there, and I'm busy.
Get in when you can.
Yeah, activities, 5Ks, kickball, staying active for sure.
Definitely. Is that it?
I think so.
Well, and that's another side note too. Get your workouts in when you can.
Yeah. Yes. There's no perfect time where you're gonna work out.
I skipped my workout the entire day yesterday, and I was done training at 5. And I banged it out in 40 minutes. It was the last thing I wanted to do at the end of the day. I worked from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. Honestly, I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And I banged it out in 45 minutes.
Did you feel great?
I felt great.
Did you? Yeah. See? It's just that starting point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and then what I have going on with Formal Fitness Training, again, it's just the Boomer Squad, which is going to be Wednesday nights at the Mifflin YMCA. That's 50 to 75-year-olds. It's going to be tailored on helping with your balance, helping with your muscular strength and endurance. I'm making sure you're doing age-appropriate exercises. We're not throwing a 75-year-old that never worked out into a major CrossFit program. We're going to progress appropriately, and we're trying to bring a group of people together so they can make new friends and have a good time and all those things. You can also find me at Wyomissing Fitness with these two lovely ladies. Thank you for tuning in to Coffee with a Trainer. We appreciate everything you guys do, watching, tuning in, and we're here committed to your health, wealth, and future success. Talk to you guys soon.
Bye.